Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's Green Tea Sister, and I know it's been a hot minute. I've been meaning to make YouTube videos for a while now, but at the end of last year, I ended up getting a new job and moved across the country. Well, really moved countries from Korea back to the US. And it was taking me some time to settle into my new job, finding an apartment, and basically going through all of the things that you do when you move into a new location. And I've been meaning to make videos. It's been on my mind, and I'm finally coming around to do it. And I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of life update, but more than anything, I was walking my dog today and just really had like a epiphany moment where I wanted to talk about this today, which is the topic of purpose. I want to talk about this because I feel really strongly about it. I feel that a lot of people who are Gen Zs, millennials, people struggle a lot with feeling like they're lacking purpose. And I think a lot of other problems that we go through in this generation stem from the lack of purpose. Being in New York City area, especially, I come across people who are quite successful. New York City is like a hub or like a center of really ambitious people. Like, this is a location that attracts the best of the best in their fields, in their industry. People who work at Google, people in the tech field, lawyers or financial industry. And all these people who are really, like, I guess, top 5% of the US, people who went to good schools, who are competitive by nature and ambitious. And obviously, I don't know everything, but when I do meet people who are around my age and maybe single, married, newlyweds, whatnot, I see so many people searching for deeper things, deeper meaning in life. And I think a lot of people, I would assume, try to do the right things, or they feel that they've done the right things in their life. For example, like studying hard, going to the right school, picking a good career, making six figures, and all of these things. And yet I still see that people feel quite empty. Something in their heart is not met. Like, they feel they lack a purpose in some ways. So maybe not everyone's emotionally intelligent or self-aware enough to recognize that in themselves. And I think a lot of times that could lead into, like, the feeling of emptiness could lead into hookup culture, or spending a lot of money and like going shopping every single day and retail therapy, or like drinking every single night and trying to find the prettiest and the smartest and the most glamorous girlfriend or boyfriend that you can ever find. Not that there's anything wrong with that in and of itself, but it's people are trying to fill the void that they feel in their heart with material things, with created things. And when I have these conversations with my friends, I sometimes feel kind of frustrated because I'm like, oh, like, you guys, and I'm gonna say something that may be a little controversial, and not every one of you guys might agree, and that's totally okay. We're here to discuss different ideas. We're not here to agree with everyone or affirm every idea. But I'm a Christian. I believe that only God can fill our heart, because if God is real and there is such a thing as a creator, then we are built in a way that created things in the world cannot fully satisfy our hearts. And that's how sacred we are. Like, the Bible says we're made in the image of God. Like, if God has made human beings in the image of who he is, if God is real, then he's on like a different dimension from us, right? Like, he's gonna be so much more superior. He's most righteous, most powerful, most mighty. And he says that he made people in his image. So if that's the case, then obviously if we're made in his image, it only makes sense that we're not gonna be satisfied by the things that the world has to offer. Even if that may be the best of the best, even if you're driving a Lamborghini, you're working as a CEO at a top company, you have 3 kids and a perfect life with a kitchen island table, even if that is the case, yeah, it will make your life easier for sure. It would, on the surface, make people think that you have everything figured out, and obviously your life is going to be comfortable. I'm not denying that certain lifestyle gives you more comfortable lifestyle, but what I'm trying to say is that we are not built in a way where we can be satisfied with created things. And that is because God exists, and that is because God created every single one of us, and he created us in a way so complex, in a way where our hearts cannot be satisfied from created things. And I wanted to talk about this because I personally think you cannot live a purposeful life. Like, maybe you can live a somewhat decent, meaningful life, but I don't think you can live a purposeful life, or a life you feel that is filled with purpose and meaning and fulfillment, apart from how you define who you are before God. So as an example, if you are someone who wants to, contribute at your workplace, you want to be a good person. Like, everyone's going to have a desire of wanting to be a good person and not wanting to do the right things at time. Like, we have that pull and push. But then if you want to do the right thing, and let's say you're trying to be a good coworker at work, you're trying to be a good employee, you're trying to be a good friend, you're trying to be a good husband, wife, daughter, son, whatever, you're going to keep thinking, like, what am I doing this for? I just think, I don't know really how to explain it, but okay, let me rewind and just say that apart from God, if there is no judge, if there is no superior judge in this universe, then ultimately there's no meaning of us being good. What makes good and bad? Like, how do we define that apart from the ultimate authority who defines morality? Apart from God, who defines what is good and what is evil? If there is no God, and if there is no solid definition of good and evil, then everything becomes subjective. Everything becomes, if I say, oh, I think being a good person is opening the door for other people. And if I say, oh, I think stealing is not that bad. Like, if I do it once or twice, I think that's okay. Versus, it's my words against your words. It's my standard against your standard. We live in a world where there's a lot of moral relativism, is basically what I talked about. People saying, oh, it's like what I define to be good is the standard of good. Who are we to say that other people's standard of morality is good or bad then? Like, for example, if someone said, oh, I think killing dogs are fine. Like, I think strangling dogs and killing them on the spot is okay. If without objective moral judgment, if there's no God or like an objective authority in the universe, then who are we to say that that standard is evil or that standard is bad? We literally cannot define it, because then it just becomes, oh, like, I believe that's right. That's your idea. That's your subjective standing versus mine. So I feel that world is becoming more and more confused. People are feeling lack of purpose more and more. The more we move away from God, we are seeing the evidence of that in this generation. Like, I don't want to sugarcoat it. I know this may be kind of a controversial thing to say. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way. At least in the US, a lot of things have been happening, and everything just feels so like confusing these days. And the fact that people, like young people, we have much more than we could ever have. Like, you go to the grocery store, there's like 40 different varieties of yogurt to pick from. That is the definition of luxury. And honestly, for those of you who complain about living in the US, like, you guys have no idea how difficult some other countries have. And I'm not turning a blind eye to real issues and real poverty or like real problems in the US. But what I'm saying is, US still has a lot of opportunities. And I just think a lot of people are really confused these days. I think that confusion is leading people to deep unsatisfaction with their lives, deep discontentment. I really feel for this generation. Only if people knew, like, if you have a relationship with God, if you Jesus promised in the Bible, like, if you ask and it will be given to you, if you seek, you will find, if you knock, the doors will be open to you. Whoever seeks after God and repents in their heart and says, Jesus, I want to get to know you. Like, Jesus promises, I will come into you and then I'll dwell with you. Like, I will eat with you and I will dwell in you. As long as we're humble enough to like humble ourselves before God and say, Lord, I don't know if you're real, but if who you say you are in the Bible, like, if you're a real God, please meet me where I am. Please reveal yourself to me, and I humble myself before you. God promises in the Bible that he's faithful enough to do that. I don't know, I just been feeling a lot of things about this, because I see people doing all of these things, hooking up, drinking every night, doing drugs, going to parties, doing these things to fill their hearts. And It's like only if you knew what you were capable of, like what you were made for. You're made in the image of God. Your body is a temple of God. Don't compromise for lower things. Don't compromise for things that will just itch the symptom, but it will not actually resolve anything. Like, you're made for more. That's all I had to say today. I'm not gonna turn this into a sermon or a lecture. This is just coming from my heart. Like, this is just a heart-to-heart conversation from the thoughts that I had on my walk. Yeah, I'm not gonna really edit this video so much, but please know that this video is just my raw observations of my own feelings and thoughts these days. And I hope you guys all stay safe out there. I'm gonna be coming back with more videos in the future. In terms of direction of this channel, I'm still trying to brainstorm which direction I should take. And I'm glad to be back though. See ya!